Alright guys, it's Tuesday night. I am popping on for our Esthetician chat. Just want to let you guys know we have our 2-day live mastermind class. It's already up for registration. You can register on our website, which is smoothskinsupply.com. This is our website. We still have clearance items available and all that good stuff. You guys can jump on. You can get more information. It's August 7th and 8th. We're doing early bird specials and all that good stuff, and it will be in Dallas. All right, let's get started. Today, yes, we're doing well. All right, we're doing well. Good evening. My favorite holiday ever is Valentine's Day. One of the most profitable holidays for us waxers. Yes? All right, so let me go ahead and just give my intros and basic information. Look, got my stuff in the background. Look, I didn't do it right. There we go. Stephanie Laynes, CEO, owner of Smooth Skin Supply, creator of Say Brazil Waxes, and all of that good stuff. So tonight's Periscope is really going to be chatting about how you guys are doing everything to get ready for one of the most profitable holidays, which is Valentine's Day for us estheticians. So what I have been going over with probably since January, most estheticians typically start talking about Valentine's Day. A lot of these stores had Valentine's Day promotions starting way before Christmas was even over. But for me, the reason I think it is one of the more better holidays is because it's guaranteed income. We know clients are coming. This year, Valentine's Day is on a weekend, so we are definitely guaranteed an increase of income. So what are you doing right now to prepare for that? Hey, Miss Joe, you're welcome. You're welcome. I miss you too. And don't spend it all in one place, darling. What are we doing for Valentine's Day? How are we getting people to know that they are going to need to come to you? And in my mastermind class that I have right now, we are steadily working on income. Hi, Janice, how are you? We're really talking about promotion. So this is the thing, and this is what I have been saying for a long time. You don't need to discount to get people to come in if you know they're coming in. So we know, one, clients are going to come in and get their brows done. They're going to come in and get their Brazilian or bikini done because it's Valentine's Day, and we all know why. And it's on a weekend. So if you have to consistently get a program together where you're showing people pictures, you're talking about chocolate, you have hearts that are coming up and you're posting them consistently, you're sharing them consistently, you're sending your emails out consistently, that is how you talk about what you do. So if we carry over from last week's conversation, does everyone know what you do? You have to be consistent and tell them what you do. So if you do makeup, they need to know. If you do waxing, they need to know. If you do skincare, they need to know. If you sell products, they need to know. But a lot of you guys don't say anything. All you just say is, oh, come see me. No phone number, no email address, just come see me. And the thing is that if you understand marketing, you would consistently know how to put yourself out in front, which means tell them how to contact you. How do they make an appointment? How do they communicate with you? So if you know all of that, then you know that you don't need to discount because they're coming. And I have had so many messages in this past probably 2 weeks with people saying, well, what do I give? You know, what do I give? What do I give? What do I give? There is no giving. All it is telling people how to come see you. That's all you need to do for the next month, is tell people how to come see you and what services you can offer them and how you can give them what they need. That's it. That is it. So if you have a lot of extra, if you're planning on giving a discount, if you're planning on doing coupons, if you're planning, why? Hold off all of that until February 15th. Then start that. But from now until Sunday, the 14th of February, you need to get your supplies together. You need to make sure you have product available to offer the service and products on your shelf to sell. That's all you need to focus on in the next 30 days, okay? That should be what one of your goals is. And if it's not, let's try to get there and make it a goal. Let's try to really, truly make it a goal. So we have lots of stuff for you. Again, if you have not ever taken any of my online classes, we have the 7-minute Brazilian 30-day boot camp starts with me on the 30th. and all of that stuff. How do we encourage the guys to come too? Do you have any gentlemen's services or anything that they can look at for pricing? Are you even advertising that you offer services to men? Because if you are not, that would be a great way to start. And if you are, do you actually have some kind of promotion that includes men? Do you talk about men's, waxing? Do you talk about men's facials? Do you talk about shaving protocols? Do you talk about anything that's geared specifically to men? So even if women see it, that they would know that you offer men's services as well. Because here's the thing, my thing is that if you advertise more to women that you offer men's services, more women will book their significant other, husband, whoever, to come in for those services. Most of my male clients come in from their significant others. It's not them making that. I don't know who, I'm not even going to be playing around tonight. And and his picture, is he naked? That's one. No, for those of you guys who didn't see his picture, he has straight penis in it. So I done got a dick pic now on the Periscope. Look, I gotta call my husband out now. Baby! Come here. Oh my gosh. Wow. So it's happened, baby. They got a dick pic on the Periscope. You made his face. He was dangling. Wait a minute. My gosh, I have never had that. That I think is a first. You want to come give your disclaimer?
What kind of people you talking to?
I don't know what kind of people are on here. I don't know. I don't know, baby.
You're just too damn sexy.
I am. Well, I'm glad my daughter was not here. I'm glad nobody else saw that. But honey, he was out there free balling, child. Free balling. Just all in the picture. Like, whoop, wait. He's standing here with his hands on his hips. Come say hi, love. You want to give a disclaimer?
I don't want to have to shut this down.
Right? Well, you're not going to shut it down,
because
baby.
It's very helpful and you're doing a great job.
I know.
But this kind of foolishness...
I mean, free balling, baby.
Has to stop.
Yes, it does.
It's silly, and it takes away from what you're trying to do here.
Thank you, baby.
And I'm not having that.
Okay. Oh. As he walks off, I'm not having it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, all right. So, every Periscope, I usually get something, but that's a first. I mean, my goodness. Wow. He came in and barked, and then he went back and sat down. You gotta love him. Okay, so where were we? I'm just done thrown off now. Whew. I mean, shoot, that reminds me of that fool who, you know what, we're already off tangent, so I might as well keep it going. I had a class that I did, and I did not know who the models were, so I had an esthetician, and she may be watching, but I had her set up for me models, and she didn't tell me the kind of models that she was getting for me, so it was a girlfriend and boyfriend. I didn't think anything of it, but typically when I have waxing models, I always like to ask how much hair they have, and I want to see it, because sometimes, as you know, most clients, they think that their hair is long enough, and it really isn't long enough, especially for a class. When I teach a class, I want someone that's hairy. I want to see a dramatic, before and after. I want the hair at least an inch long. If it could be an inch and a half, I just love it. So, of course, he comes in and, really a nerd. So it's not like he was just gorgeously fine. Now, I've had some fine models before. You'd be like, damn, but he wasn't. So he comes in and I was like, oh, my name is Stephanie, blah, blah, blah. I'm the one that's teaching the class. Can I see how much hair you have? This fool proceeds to walk up in the middle of the class, and then he just dropped his pants and his drawers, everything, just dropped it all. Oh, you can see. Okay. So then I look, and of course he has long enough hair. But, you know, so a few minutes later, the girlfriend comes in, and she sees that his pants are down. So she's like, I don't know if she got irritated with me or upset with me. I don't know. I think she thought that maybe somebody in the class and me maybe wanted him. So she kind of went really on the defensive. And I really want to just tell her in front of him, you know, don't nobody want him. And really, then he done pulled his pants down. No, don't nobody want him. You can have that. So, you know, and then it really kind of got worse after that. You know, yeah. It really took a turn. That's one of the more memorable classes. So he had his girlfriend get waxed first, but he was holding her labia open for me in front of the class. Yeah, you heard me right. He was holding her stuff, digging, telling me what hairs I was missing, pulling the labia open, holding the legs up. And I'm like, And then when it came time for, you know, her, he was like, yeah, you know, I pick her ingrowns, and there's some ingrowns in there. And I just was like, this is not this kind of class. This is not this is not what we, So once we switched, you know, and he got up there, he's the one. So if you've ever seen on my YouTube channel where I do like my client calls, he's the one that was using preparation pads, and for hemorrhoids, and didn't have no hemorrhoids, so his butt was dry and it was sucking all the wax, all the water out, so the wax got stuck in his butt. Yeah, that's the one. So he she was holding his stuff, and then then I tried to like give him the post stuff to put on, because you know I don't do pre or post, but he didn't want to put on the post. So the girlfriend put the post on. And, you know, it would not have been so bad had she not took her finger in the ouch bomb and put her finger up in the booty hole. And then the balls, and then was going up and down in front of the class while his legs was open, and he was just all back like this, enjoying it. And needless to say, them two freaky fools, I had to stop the class. I had to say, you know what, we're going to get ready to go to lunch. This is not that type of place. I don't know what y'all do at home, but this is not the place. I mean, she was going to town, honey. And that's the thing. It wasn't like it was a whole big thing. It's just, it was beyond nasty. And y'all two nasty behinds need to go on somewhere. First of all, don't nobody want neither one of you. So you're both fine. But after that, and I mean, she was looking around while she was doing, like, acting like people don't nobody want him. Oh. There's some really, 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 really weird people in the world, I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. So anyway, I done got off my tangent. Yes, we gonna go back to the Valentines. Oh, Lord have mercy. So let's go back to Valentine's Day, why I like Valentine's Day. And you know, and that kind of segues into, especially when you start talking about men and you start talking about male services as well, is that you really need to understand that when you offer male Brazilian services, and I've always said this, that you're very clear and concise about specifically what you are looking to offer the service, and that's it. And that's why I'm a fan of not applying any pre-products before waxing or post. I don't touch you. I literally only remove hair. That's it. And I'm a fan of that because not only of the experience that I've had then, but it really draws a line so that everybody's treated the same. There is no, you know, I'm fondling or touching or, you know, there's really none of that. And that's kind of something that I've really held to for a long, long time. And not specifically because I want everyone across the board to have the exact same service. I'm not here to rub on you at all, before or after. You can take care of yourself. But when you start offering men's services, you have to specifically advertise to them. And most of it will come through their significant other, or they're looking specifically for men's services. So you need to have a gentleman's treatment service menu. You need to say gentleman's facial, gentleman's Brazilians. I mean, you really need to put that up, make sure it's in your SEO, make sure you're hashtagging that when you show pictures, and really be specific in that if that's what you're looking to do. Now, if you're not prepared to offer men's services because you're uncomfortable, then I would say don't advertise. Don't even have it on your service menu. Don't have it on your website. Don't even talk about it. Because if you're on the fence and you're not really sure, then that's going to, for you, it's extra anxiety that you really don't need. Now, if you have men calling left and right for your services, then you need to try to kind of get on board and say, maybe I do need to offer that. Because the one thing I will say about men's services is that they're great clients. They tip very well. They listen and they keep their appointments. I mean, that to me is just such a no-brainer that it was very easy for me to offer the services. And majority of the Brazilian waxes that I got that were, you know, specifically for referrals, I really did take referrals mostly. So if someone had called and said that, you know, my husband needs to come in, or, you know, whatever, I really would take existing client who knew my clients as that. I didn't advertise out to the open. I only did by referral, only for men's clients or men's services. And that for me just happened really pretty much after most of the incidents that I have. I have a nose and ear guy, just that he drives 55 miles to come to you. Awesome, Donna. So yeah, I'm a big fan of referrals, especially for men if I'm doing Brazilians. But backs and facials and stuff like that, I don't really have an issue with. But Brazilian waxing, I do. I like to take referrals only. And that's something that I have. So that's not something that you have to have or whatever. For me, because I work by myself and I, you know, would work before someone else was in the office or after, because I had a room inside, you know, the salon. It was easier for me and I just felt more safe that way. Especially, and I didn't take men when no one else was around. Like, that's one of the things that I did. I didn't do that, whether it's a back facial or waxing. I never took men when someone else was not around. And that was just for my own safety. Not to say that people are crazy, but you just never know. So I never wanted to put myself in a situation where I had to find out if someone was really crazy, if that makes sense. So, you know, I really was always intentional, but at the same time, I kind of erred on the side of caution when it came to Brazilian or bikini waxing. But, you know, once I got referrals, it became very easy because then I have someone to be accountable to. So if, you know, someone got referred and I knew who the person was and they popped off, then I, you know, I got to get rid of you too, because you must be too. So, but yeah, men's treatments, especially now, and you have to remember too that, you know, now's the time for a lot of people who are going to be buying gift certificates, specifically if you offer, or you're in a location that offers massage, or you're doing, you know, dual-based services where they can both get at the same time. And that's the hard thing about being a solo SD specifically, is that you have someone who wants to come in and do a service at the same time. That's the one thing that I really and it doesn't happen a lot, but I was really kind of like, well, dang, I'm missing out on money. So what happened was, and this is how I actually started my spa, was I was a solo SD for a long time, and then I had on contract, I had a massage therapist that came in because I had 2 rooms. So I would dedicate specifically on times that I knew were going to be very, very busy, and someone wanted to have a massage and then a facial at the same time. I always would book a massage therapist that way, and it worked out perfectly. So I only did contract work with the massage therapist on Fridays and Saturdays specifically, and I had her books full, and I only did it on certain times of the year. So if that's something that you guys have room for, then I would say go for it. And for me, it's really I was rare because I had 2 treatment rooms I was able to work out of. So, and I know not everyone has 2 treatment rooms to work out of, but that was fortunate for me. So that way I didn't have to do so much of the overhead where I had a massage therapist all the time. But typically around Valentine's Day, typically around Mother's Day, typically around the holidays, like that was the times a lot of people like to come in and do couples things, or, you know, mom and daughter have services at the same time, or sisters or friends have services at the same time. I only did it certain times of the month, and that actually brought in a whole lot more revenue than me physically having to put my hands on people. So that's something to do if you have space enough to do it. But I love to do contracts with massage therapists specifically for a short amount of time. So, you know, I gave her pretty much a percentage, and then that was it. It was easy in, easy out. And she actually referred another massage therapist to me when she wasn't able to do it as well. So I kind of got a little bit of a network when I knew there were certain times of the year that I wanted to have a massage therapist working in the other room. But that also made me pack out my room too. So, you know, lots of different options for you to do, specifically around the holidays, that don't specifically have to have something that happens all the time. And that's the one thing that I love to do. I always do makeovers right before the holidays. I would always do free makeovers right before Valentine's Day, because that tends to be the time when people think about getting makeovers. So I always did things that were very, very intentional. But yeah, Valentine's Day is one of my most, I love Valentine's Day. I think it's for me, it's, I always get excited because it's like, ooh, Brazilians are coming, bikinis are coming, Brazilians are coming, bikinis are coming, because they're just coming. And I think I talked about last week about making sure that you guys do double appointments. And I know a lot of you guys don't even know the jargon about double appointments. And I started doing this back years ago, and it was always to do 2 appointments at a time. So for those of you guys who are not busy, and thank you, and you are wanting to get your books full, like right now is the time, especially 6 weeks ahead of a holiday. You typically want to get your clients in twice. So if I know a client's coming in sometime this week, so from now until Saturday, I'm going to book them again right around the same time or a little bit before, especially if they know they want to come in, and especially if they're a waxing client. So if they're a waxing client, they want to come in, they want to be all nice and clean and all that good stuff, I always try to book them out. So that's something that actually I might do a separate Periscope on, is specifically on rebooking and how do you book your clients ahead of time. Because I think a lot of us just don't know what to say to clients to rebook when it's time to rebook. You know, most of us will just take our phone and be like, oh, you know, would you like to come back in? Anytime you go, would you, most people say no. My wording has always been, so I'm going to see you in about 4 weeks. That's the same time we did now. Is today good for you? Same time? Like, that's always been something that has always been easy for me. I've never said, would you want to come in? You always get your Brazilians to book their next appointment. So I would say the next 2. So typically I would do 2, oh yeah, honey, I cut my hair long time ago. When did I cut my hair? Last year. So if you could get them to do 2 appointments out, then that secures you a little bit more. And those will be for more of your clients who have been with you for a long time. Those are the ones that are regular. You don't have no issues with them. They're not a no-show client. They're not a late client. Those are the ones that are really, really consistent. And typically the book 2 out, not only you know when people are coming in, but you know they're going to keep it too. So that's the other thing. If this is a client that has been with you for a long time, they're very consistent, they don't change their appointments last minute, and they don't no-show or come in late all the time, those are good ones to start getting into that habit to do. Especially for summer. Yes, spring and summer, typically you always want to do double appointments. And I think a lot of us get out of that habit because we can barely even get them to do 1. So if you don't understand what to tell a client on a simple rebook, how are you going to tell them to rebook, 2 appointments out? It's kind of hard. But I think if you could get down a really good routine in communication, and again, I don't ask. I just say, you know what, 4 weeks from now, this date, how does that look on your calendar? Can we go ahead and get that in? That way I know that you're going to come in and I can get you down, and you're not going to be in the shuffle. Because if you give me a call, I may not be able to get you in the time that you need it. Most people are like, oh, when you start promoting, when should you start promoting for spring and summer season? That's a good question. Typically, you want to go based off of the holidays. So we have Valentine's Day, March Madness, and then April is spring and spring break. So that's typically how you should be. You should be a month ahead. So right now you're advertising for February. In February, as soon as Valentine's is over, you're going to start talking about March. And as soon as March hits, right before St. Patrick's Day, around 14th, 15th, you're already talking about spring break. So that's typically how you should be promoting and talking about things, is at least 30 days prior to when it's coming. If you can get it out to 45 days and be that good at organized as far as your marketing, it's even the better. Because people who've already started, like literally after the new year, started promoting Valentine's Day, are really getting their clients geared up and ready to go. So if I could have 8 weeks of promotion versus just 6, it's really, really an easy thing. Spring break is in March this year. So for some folks, because I know my daughter's not having her spring break until April. So it really just depends on what's going on in your area. But you really want to do 30 days ahead. So if you can get your 30 days ahead of time and start really being consistent, that's how you want to start promoting a lot of your stuff. And again, promotion is typically just saying that you are having these services and how much you does. Canada does it around Easter generally. And there's a different, in the States, some people do, some people don't. My daughter has 4 weeks off all the way till Mother's Day. So it really depends on where you are. But typically based off of the holiday calendar, most people will typically equate April as spring break. So you really want to get your information for wherever you are, right? But you also want to make sure you're going to consistently talk about it every day for those 30 days up until it comes. So if you don't have something like that down, definitely that's something you just need to start in 2016. Like I said, our mastermind class right now, we're already killing it with all of that. My next mastermind will be in March. So if you are looking to boost up your waxing business, we do have our wax mastermind class. It's already up and registration is open. Early bird has already started. StephanieLaynes.com. You can check that out. And I give you a marketing calendar for 12 months. I also give you a seasonal marketing calendar and a monthly marketing calendar. So based off of the month and the season and the time of year. So I give it to you. So there is no guessing. There is no, oh, when do I say this? Nope. It's already done from January to December, and I tell you exactly what you should be talking about and how you should be promoting it. So if you've not joined any of my mastermind classes, definitely join that. If you're not able to make any of the online, you're able to come to Dallas with us. We'll go over the same exact thing, but it'll be live. So you can get all your questions answered. You can write all your notes down. You can get everything that you need right then and there. And then that way you can definitely do that. Early bird for the masterminds close the 15th. So February 15th, that'll change to late bird. So, and we had some people already do late bird for skincare too. And then that'll be it. I won't be doing any more masterminds online until the end of the year. Okay? Yay! Awesome. Oh, good. Awesome. Hi, Mom. Oh, Celine said don't come in there. Do I charge male Brazilian different than women? Yes, I do. So women is 95 and then men is 125. What's wrong, Mom? Look at people. What's wrong? Oh, your coat. She left. She said she didn't want her coat.
No, you said I'll leave your coat here.
What happened to your hair?
You said me braided it.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Dad. Thanks. Oh, Celine got to do homework. Okay. All right, Dad. Bye. We'll see you later. Am I still doing the Chicago Mastermind? Nope. I'll be in Chicago for the Chicago show in March. And I have a waxing class on Sunday. The minimum order to order wax products, there's no minimum. And we offer free shipping now for any order over $250 online. So that's www.smoothskinsupply.com. Will I go in depth about the male Brazilian in Dallas? No, I don't do male Brazilians at shows because I really don't have time. Will I be at the ISCC show in Long Beach? Nope, that's mostly hair. I've done that show before and it's just very disappointing. They stick the skin over in the corner. They don't even really think about us. So no, I won't be at the Long Beach show until the one in September. Esthetician pricing. Yes, all my pricing is wholesale. Your internet interrupted when you asked your question. Can I repeat it, please? Which question was that? We've had quite a few questions after you, and I'm sorry I don't remember all of them. I try to answer them when I read them. So yeah, but I think you asked about the difference between male and female. So the female Brazilian is 95 and the male is 125. I always charge more. I've always charged more. That way I weed out the crazies. And that ones that are serious, they'll pay the money. The ones that aren't and they just want to come in and think they can, we're not having all that. So yeah, but for the Valentine's Day, as far as promotions, like I said, we don't need a discount. We don't need a discount. All we need to do is let people know how to get a hold of us to make an appointment, where they need to go, how they can contact us. That's it. And then how much it costs. That's it. So if you're looking at different stuff, I love to go on Instagram. Instagram is a great place, especially if you hashtag Valentine's Day, hashtag Brazilian waxing, hashtag, brow waxing, or, brows on point, arch addicts, all of those. It's a great place to get ideas to start using to help market your promotions. And remember, hashtagging is everything. You can hashtag on Facebook, you can hashtag on Instagram, you can hashtag, Twitter is all about the hashtag. So if you are really trying to seriously understand how to make more money and not give away your services, you really got to start promoting. You got to tell people what you do. If they don't know what you do, then they won't know to come to you. The other part of it too is how active are you? How often are you letting people know inside your room and outside of your treatment room, what exactly you can offer them. Why do some people charge $35 for a Brazilian? Is that a standard pricing? Some people charge $35 because they feel that they can get $35 and they'd rather have $35 than $55, $75, or $85. I don't really know. I've never really understood the whole $35 Brazilian thing. I never really quite understood that. For the service that I'm offering, I truly believe that it's worth way more than $35. Where I'm going on your body and what I have to deal with to get the hair off in that area is worth way more than $35. There's people that charge brow waxes that charge $35. They feel like it'll attract more customers. I don't really understand that philosophy either, because if you think about it, you know, $35, if you start doing the math on how much the wax costs and the service time and all of that, you're not really making any money, to be honest. But if they want to charge it, they can charge it. I never really understood that. But I mean, I think there's no different than, you know, hair salons. Do you have some hair salons that have what, the $20 haircut, and then you have some that have, you know, $150 haircut? I think it truly depends on, you know, what kind of customer you are and what are you expecting. And then at the end of the day, you get kind of what you pay for too. So, you know, and those who, if they're doing well with $35, hey, more power to you. I'm not going to do that. You know, and I think that's what happens when we start looking at other people and, you know, asking kind of why they do things. Sometimes I don't really want to know why. If you're charging $35, hey, more power to you. And if you think that that's exactly what you're worth, okay, I'm not. So, you know. And the places I'm going on the body, I'm not going to back down either. And like I said before, that's a high risk area that I'm going in. So yeah, you're going to pay for that. Absolutely. It really depends on what you're comfortable offering. I can't really tell you what a good price point is. I mean, if you're just starting out, I would say lower, because if you're still trying to figure out what you're doing and you're not quite sure about your technique, you can't really charge that much. Because if something goes wrong, or most people don't want to pay for a mistake. Most people don't want to pay if you're not going to get it right, or if you're going to take a long time. Most people don't want to do that. That's the first thing that most clients ask for, is a refund, especially if the hair is left behind, or they feel like they got injured, or it's taking too long. So if you've not perfected your technique, then I would say if you can do it as low as possible for the least amount of time, just to get your technique down. And once you feel comfortable and you like your wax, you're comfortable with your wax, you have a technique down where you're removing all the hair in efficient time, then you can work about price. But in the beginning, there's a learning curve, and you have to understand that learning curve, and you can't charge clients while you're on the learning curve. You make real money once you're off that learning curve and you're comfortable with not only the environment that you're in, but your waxes, and you have your technique down, you understand exactly what you're doing. And all of that takes time. Waxing is so very different than facials. Waxing is so very different than, you know, chemical peels and all that stuff. Because remember, in school, we focus mostly on skin. We don't truly focus on hair removal. Yeah, we'll do 100 lips. We'll do, 100 brows. We'll do, some underarms, do some legs, and, and it's with crap wax as well. But we don't really focus on that. So you kind of have to take yourself aside and say, okay, I did 6 months of nothing but facials and hands-on and effleurage and petrissage and all of these things. But then you go into the real world, and a lot of people focus on the money makers. And right now the money maker is wax. So, then you have to kind of take that same mindset, 6, 9 months, 12 months, and really focus on waxing. But you really can't charge that much, because again, it's a learning experience. And like I said, I did a year of free Brazilian waxing. I only did it once a month, but I did a year of it just to get my technique down, just to get comfortable with the wax, just to get comfortable with myself. I wasn't spilling wax on people. I was able to take it out of the can and not dribble it all over people. I was able to understand the temperature has to be right. I understand different sizes of people, because not everybody is the same. And that's one thing I think we got to get out of saying, oh, it's the same. No. It is not all the same. No. The other part of it too is that I wanted to make sure, my room was set up and that I ergonomically could wax a lot of bodies back to back for a certain amount of time and not get injuries. My arms wouldn't hurt. My back wouldn't hurt. I was wearing the correct shoes. You know, I had everything in arm's reach. I felt really comfortable in my room. If it got too hot, I had a fan ready to go. I knew what to do if somebody was in a lot of pain. I mean, all of those things is not even have to do with anything about getting the wax out. It was really about making sure that I was comfortable, because waxing is very hard on the body. So I would say if you can practice on people as long as you can, that is really number one. Sciatica, definitely. My bed is at the highest. I always have a high bed, and I like my big, and I actually have an extra wide massage table that's pretty cushy too. So I have like a little stool for people if they're short just to pop on, but it's extra wide, which I love because I, you know, have some plus size clients, and I also like to do my prego clients, but I always have it at the highest too because I'm not bending over. I'm not bending over. I like tennis shoes. I'm a tennis shoes girl when I wax. So I know some people like to wear clogs. I tried clogs for a while, but you know, I'm not a clog girl. I'm truly a tennis shoe girl. I love my tennis shoes. They comfort my feet and all of that good stuff. So I'm a tennis shoe girl. I don't understand people who wear heels when they're working and waxing. I never understood that. I never understood you're in a full dress and waxing. I can never be in a full dress. I sweat too much, and you know, it's too much. So, you know, I love my tennis shoes. Scrubs are great. I love having my pants on that are very comfortable with the basic shirt. I always love to wear my coat. I'm an apron girl, so I typically have my apron on. That way I have my phone in there. I have my pens in there, you know, and anytime I need it, it's just nice and cute. Our aprons are great, and that's typically what I work in. And then when I'm at a show, I wear my aprons over my dress too. So I really try to be as comfortable as possible because waxing is very tedious and hard on the body. So, you know, I try to make sure that everything with my cart is at the place it should be. My bed is at the right height and all of that, especially if I have a waxing day and all I'm doing is waxing butts. I really need everything to be in that mode so that way it doesn't come and hurt me back on my shoulders and my back. So, and the older you get and the longer you wax, the more that becomes way more important than what my room looks like. I need to be comfortable for me. So that's kind of one thing that I've always said. If you are truly a waxer, your room is really for comfort. How long does the hair have to get? Miss Psycho, I don't think you're an esthetician. So, and if you are, you should know that answer. But those are good questions, especially if you're a new esthetician. You really have to get down exactly what you want, but you also have to know that there's a learning curve. And I think that's the thing about learning curves, is that do you give yourself enough time to learn what you're doing? And I don't think a lot of us not just had that. We don't have any time to really truly learn. When we're in school, we're taught as a robot. We're basically taught off of the products that we're using. We're taught how to massage. We're taught how to cleanse. We're taught how to remove. We're taught how to put towels on. We're taught how to do all these things. And it's very intricate, but a lot of that time is spent on that. When it comes to waxing, we barely get anything. But when we come out in the real world and we want to work and we truly want to make money, what we do is that we, you know, and this is what I do when I go into beauty schools. I literally hand them sticks, and I always tell them, can you take your stick? I need you to twirl that stick in front of me, and then I'm going to have you come up to my wax pot, and I'm going to have you dip in, and I'm going to get that wax, and I'm going to watch you twirl. Because if you're going to spill wax on my floor, you're not going to work for me, and you're not going to work for anyone else, because no one wants wax all over the floor. So you actually have to learn how to grab the wax out of the can and be able to turn it and keep it on your stick. You have to understand grabbing it out of the stick. And this, thank you, Angela, twirl, this doesn't work. Or people who blowing all over it, that doesn't work either. So there really is a lot that has to be learned. The other part of it too is that you have to really understand that your clients are looking at everything you do. So if you don't know how hot your wax is and you think you know and you're doing this and looking and seeing, that does not tell you what the temperature is. You have to truly be in your professional mode, which means you have to look like you know what you're doing, which is why I say for some people who start off, you can't charge what, you know, old girl is charging over there because you're not there. And you have to really give way to that. You have to respect that. Because again, I'm serious. I never wanted to wax. I wanted to be a facial girl. I wanted to do nothing but $250 facials all day long and make money all day long doing facials. And that's all well and good when the economy is great. But when the economy is like this and people's money get funny, they're staples. And truly, facial is not a staple. Now, brow wax and bikini wax, the Brazilian, is a staple. But a facial, not so much. And people get a little funny. So, you know, it's truly that. You're the only student who buys and uses your own products in class. You know, at Loyalty, I was the same one. I had my own gloves. I had my own extractors. I didn't have my own wax because I really wasn't into wax. But I had my own gloves, my own extractor. I had my own Q-tips. I had my own cotton rounds. I had my own sponges. What else did I have? I had a couple other stuff that I had on my own because I was like, I don't know you. I really don't know you. But it was easy for me. I had it in my little thing, you know. Nope. And I was like, why are you wearing gloves? Because y'all nasty up in here. And you see the hair over there in the quads? Y'all don't clean the quads like you're supposed to. The quads don't even, it shouldn't have hair in there. And the thing is, too, is that if you remember in school, they don't care. They always say it's about sanitation, but it's really not. I mean, I had a great teacher named Miss Laynes, honey. She was from Russia. And she always talked about washing your hands and your SMA. And I'm so thankful that she did that because truly when I went to state board, the proctor that I had was always looking at me to make sure I washed my hands and didn't contaminate my SMA. And for the first 2 weeks of the school when I started, I kept saying, what is an SMA? Who's SMA? Is there a girl named SMA? Or is there somebody that's a teacher named SMA? Because I'm missing something. And she said, you're SMA. Who is SMA? I did not know who she was talking about. I thought it was a person. Oh, my goodness. I kept saying, who is SMA? Is she a girl missing? What? Who is she? What is it? Absolutely. Oh. And it was so funny. So funny. But you know, it's the it was the Russian accent on top of what it's supposed to be, and I just kept saying, "Oh, I'm missing it. I'm missing it. I'm missing it." And finally, I got the SMA. So you know, a lot of you guys have to truly understand that you know, anytime you learn something new. Anytime you learn something new, I know we don't have estheticians in here asking what is SMA. Please. I know I didn't read that. Someone's really asking what an SMA is. Oh God. Oh dear, we're gonna keep moving. It has to really. Oh, wait a minute. You are asking? Oh, are you not taught what your SMA is? Loyalty, are you serious? You don't know what your SMA is? Your SMA is where you have all of your stuff that is sanitized. It's the SMA. So before you do your facial or any of your waxing, it's what everything. Oh, you know what it is. Okay, well, who asked? Oh, wait. CJ, CL? She said it's in the acronym. No. Thank you, Loyalty. Sorry, not you. Rebel Rose, you're asking what an SMA is? Oh dear. Well, you know what? I'm Spot. Did you go to aesthetic school? Because I know in Canada you guys have different regulations. Like you don't have to be licensed to be an esthetician. So SMA is where everything that's sanitized and on your whatever you have to use. It's the only place where you know there's clean implements can be placed. Anything that has not touched the skin or been contaminated with anything. Typically, you can keep your jars on your SMA. You spray the stuff with alcohol. Okay. So SMA, and this is what our teacher would always say was, you know, you have your SMA, which is a clean here. Anything that's on the SMA has not been contaminated. It is sterilized or it is disposable. It has not touched a client. So this is kind of like your clean zone. So some people call it the setup or aesthetic setup, but typically it's SMA. So SMA is very old school. It's very European. So yes, there you have. Yeah, SMA. There you go. But we're not going to talk about the alcohol. We're going to keep going. So you have a lot of folks who truly want to understand the aesthetics world, but you know, a lot of it comes with time. You can't expect to jump out of school and be out and have you know, all of this knowledge. It takes time, which means you have to do extended postgraduate classes. You have, get education. You need to go to trade shows. You need to learn and understand outside of what you find on YouTube. YouTube is not a learning tool. It is not. YouTube is not a video encyclopedia for some of you, but some of you guys use it that way, and it's really truly not. It is when you invest into your own career and you understand the importance of understanding what you're doing, because we are doing a very unique job. We can change the way skin looks. We can burn skin. We can rip skin. We can tear skin. We can do a lot of things to the skin. And unless you understand that and you start understanding that the skin is a living, huge, big organ, you're not really going to get anywhere. And that's not by emulation. So you think you want to do an advanced facial class next? Do I have one? Spot Red Rose, I'm not really sure about Canada. If you have connected with my distributor, Skin Effects, she does a lot of skincare classes. So that's a great place to go, skineffects.ca. You've been out of school for 6 months and you've been taking classes and doing research. But really, really, truly understand that you need to know about chemicals. You need to know how chemicals work in the skin. You need to know what chemicals are in the products that you're using. You need to understand what is in your waxes. You need to understand what's in your pre and your post. And I get a lot of people asking about, what's the one that I just got that I keep trying to tell people that is crazy. Because I got another question about it the other day was, I think it was, what did she say? Was it about gluten? Oh, parabens. And I keep trying to get people to explain. Parabens is in skincare products. Parabens is not in wax. And wax does not sit on the skin long enough to even be affected by parabens. Wax gets on and then it's removed off. It's the pre and the post that stay. So anytime that you look at something and you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, you really truly need to understand what caliber we're in. Now, when we talk about skincare products absorb into the skin. They stay on the skin. Sometimes they don't come out. We have, things that are self-neutralizing, which is salicylic acid and all those things, which is great. That you can ask your questions about parabens. But when it comes to wax is on and off. It doesn't even penetrate the skin. The things that penetrate the skin are what you use before and what you use after you wax, which is why in, say, Brazil, I'm so particular about making sure that they're 100% natural, especially for post-wax, because I want the skin to accept it and I want it to stay calm and neutral. I don't want it to react to what I'm putting on it. And I really don't want it to react from the hair removal, even though sometimes we can't, do anything about that. But you really have to, you really have to understand when you talk about what you do, it's really important to make sure that you know what you do. And I always put on the question all the time, and whenever I do a class, I always ask them, okay, so what does glycolic do in the skin? A lot of people don't know. What does alpha hydroxy mean? What is a alpha hydroxy? A lot of people don't know. What is, lactic? Why do we use enzymes? Do enzymes penetrate the skin? What are natural enzymes? A lot of us don't know. So when it comes to you as an esthetician, my biggest advice to most estheticians is do you know what you can and cannot do? If I were to come into your room right now and look at what's going on in your back bar and pick up a jar and turn it around and then read you what the ingredient is, could you tell me what it did in the skin? Most of you guys cannot do that. And the reason that is very disheartening and very shocking is because we have a lot of potent and very strong chemicals that can truly affect the skin negatively, or it can affect it very positively, depending on when you put it on the skin and why and how long. But if you don't know that, why don't you know that? And I'm not talking about products. I'm really truly going to I'm always going to go to chemicals. And it's funny because I have so many people that will send me private messages depending on what product they're using. And I always say, what is in it? I don't care if it's a pre or post oil. I don't care if it's a skincare cleanser or moisturizer or anything. Tell me exactly what's in it. I don't care what and who it's made by. I want to know what's in it. Once you can tell me what's in it, then I know exactly where I can tell you where it's going to go and where it can't go. Because a lot of us will take skincare products and try to fit it over to waxing. Which is why I say you should never mix and match. Waxing is not skincare. And that's the thing when someone, has lifting, or if someone has something that didn't work, the first thing I ask them is, what did you put onto the skin and why? Because you have to remember, waxing is not skincare. So if you use that cleanser for your skincare products, or if you use that mask for skincare products, that mask should not be on your skin because that will not do what you need it to do for waxing. The other part of it too is that I like to understand exactly what is going to happen in the skin. So, for instance, Angela and I have this conversation all the time. You have people that will get a hold of us and say, oh, this occurred, and I can tell you from the picture typically what you did. Most of the time, most waxing pictures that I get that are waxing injury pictures, typically there's been alcohol that's involved or there's too much heat that's involved. And then the third, and always same, they've gone over to the same area multiple times. And I can say that from a picture. Or if I have someone that comes in and they want me to wax them, or I'm at a show and I'm waxing someone, I can tell them how often they're self-waxing because the hair is growing different. I can tell them if they're picking their ingrowns, and then I can tell them if they really have ingrowns or they're just picking because they think they have an ingrown. But if you don't know what you're doing, sometimes you can be the problem. And why am I saying that? Because a lot of us could say ouch right now. Some of us are causing skin to be worse because we don't know what we're doing. And Angela and I talked about this earlier this week about going real. We're going to go real in 2016. And I'm going to say it right now. I've seen some pictures where some people have no business even waxing. No business even picking up a stick and putting it on anybody's skin at all. Stay away. The other part of it is that some of us are really messing people's skin up because we don't know what we're doing. So instead of using a beta hydroxy on someone's skin or even using an enzyme, we'll go to glycolic, not realizing glycolic will do nothing unless it's paired with something. Everybody, oh, glycolic peel, it burns. Yeah, it burns, but you got to pair it with something for it to be effective because it's going all the way to the dermis, which means it won't do anything to your top layers. Most people want their top layers to be burned, but if they don't quite understand the molecule they're working with, they don't really get the whole picture of why glycolic just burns and then that's it. Someone came and said, oh, I did a glycolic peel, but I didn't have any flaking. You will never have flaking with glycolic because it does nothing to the top dermal layers. It always affects what's down in the dermis. That's it. So if you don't know that, there's no point in you doing a glycolic peel. And that's why most people will pair glycolic with lactic. Lactic is the moisturizing, the whitening. So, I can go off on my tangent and start talking about lots of education. But however, the only reason I know that is because I'm coming to you from a chemical point of view. I'm not coming to you from product. So if you go to a class and they're going on you about product and this and this will give you this and this will give you that. Okay, so what's in the product that's going to give me that result? That should be your question. Or what is in this product that's going to give me the result you're telling me is going to give it to me, and why is it going to give it to me? That should be your question. It shouldn't be, oh, okay, that product will do this, because here's the flip side to it. I'll get someone that'll call me or they'll send me a message and say, oh, well, I was told that this is going to do this. And then I ask them that question. Okay, so what's in it that's going to do it and why? Huh? What? What'd you say? What's in it that's going to give you that result? Huh? Do you know what the product is going to do in the skin? Because if you don't know, then I can't help you. And that's something, again, that takes time. Again, remember, I've been an esthetician for a long time. That's your answer for people on MLM. They don't know what to tell me. Oh, no, they'll never know. They'll just read a script, honey, which is all well and good. But don't come. No. But that's the thing. I think we could be so much more, and you can be so much more successful if you truly understand what you were doing. And let's start in your back bar. Take your back bar products and look at them and see exactly what's in them, and then know or look up what they do in the skin. Don't go based off of what a product has told you based on what the results should be on that product. No, they don't know. Thank you, Angela. Really start there. That'll be your clue cue number one, if you can start there. But I'm getting off and I'm going all the way around the world to come back to say why I still love waxing. The reason I love waxing is because, one, it's the fastest way to make money. Number two, it's the easiest way to make money. And number three, it's the most consistent way to make money. That's it. That's all I need. Easy, consistent, and money. But those who are doing extremely well, they never are on my Periscope. Unless I go and interview them like I did Miss Katie. She's so busy, she don't even come on my Periscopes. Or they're so successful because they understand the formula. So a lot of us don't realize with $1,000 in spending in a waxing business will go way more farther than $1,000 in skincare. That might buy your back bar, depending on what the product line is. But if I had $1,000, shoot, I could probably make that be at least 10 to 15 G's just from the $1,000 investment. And that's why a lot of these companies that come out and they do all these franchises in waxing and they're not from our industry or doing well is because that simple equation. We just have to know that. We have to understand that you have to know what you are going to invest and what the return is going to be. And that's really what it comes down to. So those crazy people, if you've ever worked for someone who's crazy, who measures out how much you use in the cleanser or measure how much you use in the moisturizer, truly understands the bottom dollar. And that's why I say waxing is very easy. We don't need a big investment. We don't need a big investment to turn around and have a very large and lucrative return. So lots of stuff is exciting for, 2016. Lots and lots and lots of exciting things that are happening all over. So if you guys have, what is it? I am still doing the Say Brazil Spotlight. So if you are a Say Brazil wax user, you have your pictures for before and after, you can still do that. You count your pumps on the cleanser. Absolutely. One pump, half a pump. Absolutely. We're still doing Say Brazil Wax on IG. So if you want to follow me on there, Stephanie Laynes, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Stephanie Laynes. You can always follow me there, Smooth Skin Supply. If you guys, and there's a couple people who have missed, when I've said this and I put it back on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, you can watch all of my old Periscopes on there. They're all based off of the themes and titles that I talk about. But you can always watch all of those on there if you ever need to go back and watch them again. On Periscope, you can watch it for 24 hours and then it'll cycle off, and typically I'll download it and put it onto my YouTube channel. But I have a couple private groups. So if you're looking to private label with me, or you have questions about my private label products, that is the Stephanie Laynes collection, and that is a private group. We have my wax chat, which is all about Say Brazil wax, and that's called Say Brazil Smooth Skin Supply Wax Chat, and that has questions about all the waxes that I have, the berry oil tints that I carry, the waxing strips that I use, all of that stuff. I should be having a free, I'm trying to think about what weekend or what Saturday I'm gonna be doing a free viewing. Oh, thank you. The free viewing for the 7-minute Brazilian. I haven't really truly decided when I'm going to do that, but it should be coming up soon. It's going to be coming up before Valentine's Day. Ouchbaum is 50 minimum for private label. Yes. You got your Berry Well kit today. Use it. Oh, awesome. Yes. We love Berry Well. We have our eyebrow and wax tints are available. Those are only $50. So that'll give you the latte wax, and it'll also give you the wax the berry oil tints, which we love. And then I got to figure out when exactly I'm going to be putting on my free viewing. I usually do that once now and then one more time before the summertime, so that should be coming up, but it'll definitely be coming up before Valentine's Day for those of you who want to catch it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's almost 7:30. Did I say I was still doing the Chicago Mastermind? I'm not doing the Chicago Mastermind. I'm doing the Chicago show. So I'm not sure if you're a little confused on that. I will be doing a class at the Chicago show. I'm not doing a live mastermind. The only live mastermind I'm doing this year is in Dallas, and that's in August. And that'll be it. Everything else will be a show. So I do Chicago in March. I do Philadelphia in April. I do Dallas in May. And then I do Long Beach in September. And then I do Atlanta, which is new, and that's in October. So I will be at the Atlanta show, and that's with Face and Body. That's their new show for the Southeast. And then my mastermind is in August, and that's in Dallas. So that'll be the live class. That's 2 days, and we have all of that. What books do I recommend for chemicals? Anything that has to do with my ladies is good. And then Allured Books has a really good library that you can pick from, and they have a lot of estheticians who actually go in. So Allured, ALLURED books, BOOKS. If you Google that for estheticians, they have a lot of good books based off of estheticians who rate them. That's a good place to go. You want to try to go to Dallas, your husband loves the Cowboys, maybe he'll go. Yes, Dallas will be actually really, really fun. So I'm really looking forward to the Dallas mastermind. My husband will be there, and so you guys will get to meet him in person, and Angela will be there. We'll all be working. Atlanta, this will be their first show. So this year is the first show for the Atlanta show with Face and Body, and that'll be at the Cobb Center, I believe. So if you go on to faceandbody.com, they have everything listed out. I don't think they're taking From what I understand, I haven't gotten my information to give out to people, but they're not taking any ticket registration. I think that's not going to happen until maybe early spring. So, but yeah, Atlanta is in October this year. So that's my schedule for this year. I will be in Canada in June, the first week of June. And then I will be in Boston the first week of May. I will be at the Katherine Hines Institute. I'm doing a training there for waxing. So I will be in Boston. That'll be my only East Coast appearance, and that'll be after the Philly show. And then I will be in, what am I going? Boston. And then I have Canada. I will be with my Canadian distributor. And then that's it. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. It's been nice. It's been real. So I will see you guys. I'll probably do another Periscope Friday morning like I usually do. It'll be on Sabrazil Waxes. It'll be something. You're welcome, darling. It'll be something with some wax or something. I'll pull something out. You know, we'll talk about Coco Diva or somebody. Anyway, so I will be back on Friday morning. So for those of you who are in my mastermind class, we'll do the bonus scope on Thursday. Okay? All right, guys, visit StephanieLaynes.com if you want to sign up for any of my classes or check them out, or if you want to check out the Mastermind live class as well. All right? Have a great night. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.